Okay, real talk. If you opened your investment app this week and felt your stomach drop a little, you are not alone. This was a rough week on Wall Street, and I mean genuinely rough. But here's what I want you to do. Don't panic. Don't touch anything. Just watch this video first, because by the end, you'll understand exactly what happened, why it happened, and what might be coming next week. Let's break it all down. All right, so let's start with the big picture. There are three main scorecards that tell us how the US stock market is doing overall. You've probably heard their names: the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq. Think of them like a report card for the economy. And this week, the grades were not great. Let's start with Friday, March 27th, because that day alone was painful. The Dow Jones, which tracks 30 giant American companies, dropped almost 793 points in a single day. That's a 1.73% drop. It closed at 45,166. And here's the big deal. That drop pushed the Dow into what's called correction territory. All that means is it has now fallen more than 10% from its highest point. That's a red flag investors take seriously. The S&P 500, which tracks 500 big companies and is considered the best overall picture of the market, dropped 1.67% on Friday, closing at 6,368. That's actually its lowest point in 7 months. And the Nasdaq, which is heavy on tech companies, had the worst day of the three. It fell 2.15%, closing at 20,948. Now zoom out and look at the whole week. The S&P 500 fell 2.1% for the week. The Nasdaq dropped 3.2%. The Dow slipped 0.9%. And here's the part that really puts things in perspective. This was the S&P 500's fifth week in a row of losses. 5 straight weeks of going down. The Nasdaq is now nearly 13% below where it was at its peak back in October. The Dow is about 10% off its high, and the S&P 500 is down almost 9% from its record. So yeah, it's been a tough stretch. Okay, so the obvious question is, why? What's actually causing all of this? 2 big things. First, oil prices surged. Brent crude, which is basically the global price of oil, shot above $110 at a barrel. Now, why does that matter to stocks? Because when oil gets expensive, everything gets more expensive. Shipping costs go up. Manufacturing costs go up. Companies make less money. And when companies make less money, their stock prices tend to fall. Second, geopolitical tension. There's been serious tension around a place called the Strait of Hormuz. That might sound like a geography class, but it's actually one of the most important shipping lanes in the world. A huge chunk of the world's oil passes through it. When there's conflict or uncertainty in that region, oil prices spike, and that's exactly what happened. So you've got expensive oil, nervous investors, and a market that was already fragile from 5 weeks of losses. It all stacked up at once. Now let's talk about some individual stocks that really moved this week, because not everything went down. Some stocks actually had massive gains. First up, Artelo Biosciences, ticker ARTL. This small biotech company jumped an absolutely wild 230% in a single week. Why? They announced an $11 million private placement. Basically, they raised a significant amount of new money from investors. When a small company raises that kind of cash, it signals that serious money believes in them and that excitement drives the stock up fast. Just keep in mind, these small company stocks can be extremely volatile. They go up just as fast as they come down. Second, System 1 Inc., ticker SST. This one jumped 142%. The reason? They released earnings, basically their financial report card, and the numbers were better than expected. They showed growth in users, improved profits, and they talked about how they're using AI to grow the business. Investors loved it. Third, Next Technology Holding, ticker NXTT. This stock climbed nearly 49% after announcing they closed a $157 million registered direct offering. Again, raising a big chunk of money signals confidence, and the market responded positively. 2 big news stories you need to know about this week. Story 1. Meta and Google were found negligent in court. A Los Angeles jury ruled that the way Meta and Google designed their platforms, things like addictive features, endless scrolling, and the lack of warnings, contributed to real harm for a young user. The jury awarded $6 million in damages. Now, both companies plan to appeal, so nothing changes overnight, but this could be a turning point. There are thousands of similar lawsuits waiting in line. If this holds up in higher courts, social media companies may be forced to redesign their apps or face massive legal consequences. This is one to watch. Story 2, the taco trade is back. Yes, you heard that right. Wall Street analysts are actually calling it the taco trade, which stands for Trump always chickens out. The idea is that when President Trump escalates a tough policy that shakes the markets, he often backs off before it causes real economic damage. This week, after reports that the U.S. was considering strikes on Iran's oil infrastructure, Trump pulled back to allow negotiations around the Strait of Hormuz. Markets bounced briefly on that news. But, and this is important, analysts warn you can't count on this pattern every time. If tensions drag on and oil stays this high, inflation could rise, and the market could stay under pressure for a while. So what's on the radar for next week, March 30th through April 3rd? It's actually a big week for economic data. On Monday, both President Trump and Fed Chair Jerome Powell are scheduled to speak. Markets always pay close attention to what Powell says, because his words can move stocks significantly. Tuesday brings consumer confidence numbers and job openings data. Both are expected to come in slightly lower, which would suggest Americans are feeling a little less optimistic about the economy. Wednesday has employment and retail sales data. The jobs number from ADP is expected to show slower hiring than last month, which is another sign the economy may be cooling. Thursday gives us the weekly jobless claims number, basically how many people filed for unemployment that week. And Friday, even though it's Good Friday and a holiday, the government still releases the big jobs report, non-farm payrolls. Analysts expect only about 56,000 new jobs added, which would be a significant slowdown. This number could set the tone for the following week. Bottom line, it's going to be a data-heavy week, and the results could push the market in either direction. All right, that's your full market update for the week of March 27th. To wrap it up simply, stocks fell across the board, oil is expensive, geopolitical tension is high, and the market is in a fragile spot right now. But volatility is a normal part of investing, and the best thing beginners can do in moments like this is stay calm, stay informed, and avoid making emotional decisions. Quick disclaimer, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is purely for educational purposes. Always do your own research or speak with a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button. Every single week, we break down exactly what's happening in the market. So you always know what's going on, even if you're just getting started. See you next week.